Hey, what's up, guys? Lockhart here. Happy holidays, by the way. Hopefully, you're enjoying your break. You're off from school, off from work, what have you. Hopefully, you're having a good time. Glad to see you guys stopping by to see the new Sorcerer build I have. This is kind of make up for the previous one I posted. I spent about 500K here in the past, I don't know, a few days testing all the new sets, testing all the traits, testing the enchantments, testing the Asylum staff, which I'll cover in this video, some pros and cons of it. And the best optimal setup that I could possibly find, where it'd be damage, whether it be sustain, open world duels, the most versatile build I have that I could possibly find, min max, no matter what sets I used. I still have to resort back to my previous Azor Ahai build. If you've seen it recently, I explain, why I run the things I do. For those of you that are pretty new to it, is a Destro sword and board sorcerer build. And in my previous build, I explained, how the healing works, how the damage set up, explain the burst. In this video, I'm going to quickly go through it. I'm not going to go too far in depth, just because, I've already covered it once. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. Quickly on the character sheet, everything completely unbuffed. Here's what it looks like. Buffed. Well, shit. Got 3300 spell damage, 43k max, 300 magic recovery, blah, 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 blah. Open world. This is for open world, not duels. Duels are a little bit different. We actually have to run a different bar setup because of the changes to the sorcerer this patch. In open world, we're running the Witch Mother's Brew, and we're running the Mage Mundus. Now, as far as the gear setup goes, if you guys recall our previous Azor Ahai build, we are running 5 Lich. We're running 5 Shackle Breaker, and that allows us to run a 2-piece monster set. 5 light, 1 medium, 1 heavy. You can toss on whatever you want for the monster set, it doesn't matter. As far as the traits are concerned for the armor, as long as you're around 1200 crit resistance, it doesn't matter. You can adjust in your CP, you can adjust in your traits, it does not matter. Have all spell damage on the jewelry. And as far as the traits, now the traits did change a little bit. We're currently rocking Nirnhone because the Nirnhone trait gives you approximately 200 more spell damage, which is really good. It does compare with Sharpened and Infused. They're all kind of about the same, but I think Nirnhone is the most consistent overall. As far as the back bar going, we are running a sword and board. I have Inpin for the shield. This optimally should be Infused, but oh well. And I have a defending Shacklebreaker sword. The weakening enchantment, this is primarily for duels. If you did want to min-max your damage, you would put a infused trait sword along with a spell power enchantment on your back bar. You would proc your buff on your back bar, switch to your front bar. Instead of the weapon damage enchantment on your front bar, you would have something like a crusher enchantment or maybe a fire enchant, just give you a little bit more burst. So when you do that, that gives you like an extra 150 spell damage to compare to what we have now, which should put you at around 3,500 spell damage. And that coupled with 43k max in open world, that's really good. So we'll just go over tooltips. I just like doing like tooltip analysis comparison. So without entropy, our frags are hitting for 16k, and we'll just kind of put that as a baseline. All right, so that's the build. More in depth into it in one of my previous build videos. I'm not going to say much more on it than that. The stupid ass Asylum weapon. Let me tell you about this. I farmed it, haven't changed a trade on it, but I thought this would be a super good weapon. It's this is the imperfect one, the perfect version. It'll say every second cast of Force Shock, always apply the burning, concussion, and chilled sass effect, as long as you cast it within 10 seconds. That sounds phenomenal in theory. Wow, you get concussion, you do 8% more damage. Chilled fucking inflicts them with minor maim, reducing their damage output by 15%. Burning is like a 2k tick. like, wow, this is going to be the shit. Well, what ends up happening is against any shield opponent, it doesn't apply, first of all, and your stacks fall off. Let's say if we use, let's put it on for a second. I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is the imperfect version, mind you, so I have to use it 3 times. See my bar, see my buff bar with the crushing shock. There's 1, 2. Then on the third one, it kind of does like a special particle effect. And you can see on the debuff bar above the target dummy there that it applies all 3 status effects. Really cool, right? Well, what happens is when you're against a shielded opponent, on that third proc, if they have a shield, not only will it not infect them with the status effects, but it also makes your stacks fall off. So you gotta reset again. And PvP, it's really hard to get 2 to 3, weaves off like that. So on paper, this staff looks great. It is phenomenal, but in reality, it's very situational. It is what it is, okay? So that's kind of a letdown, but I could see where it could have its merits, maybe in PvE and maybe some situational in duels. So let's go over the bar setup. Running Crystal Frags. Crystal Frags no longer CCs your opponent, which sucks. Haunting Curse. We have our Execute, Crushing Shock, Streak, and Shooting Star. Alternatively, you could put in Dawnbreaker for this, Sol, whatever the fuck you want. It's your build. I mean, it just depends who you're playing against. I personally like the Streak Meteor combo, since the Streak Meteors, you're only CCs now, besides Rune Cage, and we'll go over that in a minute. That little gem. So this is what our back bar looks like. We're running Dark Conversion, 2 wards, running our spell power buff, and Daedric Mines. I love Daedric Minefield. It's such a good skill, especially when you're 1vxing. Last but not least, these are ultimate. We're running Spell Wall. This reflects all projectiles. Super good. You can use it actually in your burst rotation. When you see a burst coming, pop this, you reflect it, and then you burst them back. It's pretty good. Alternatively, you could run the Atro or the Meteor or an Overload bar and have more utility on your Overload bar. I personally don't like doing that because I kind of butterfinger and get caught between bars, especially with the lag and Cyrodiil. Now we're going to quickly go over the dueling setup if you guys are interested in that. The only thing we're changing is just the bar setup. We're not changing the weapon setup at all. But you do need, I feel, Inner Light or an Execute. Gotta have one of those. And then, my personal opinion, you don't have any reliable CC Rune Cage. They changed Rune Cage as well. No longer is it a disorient. It is now a 3-second stun, very similar to the DK's Fossilize. So this kind of brings me back to the vanilla Sorcerer days where you would set up your inevitable detonation, your curse, your frag, your meteor, and you would just one-shot people. This is probably the best one-shot combo you have. The reason I am running Inner Light over Execute, it offers more raw damage than what the Execute would provide if it procs. Blob ESO has done a video on this, so has multiple other people. It's a fact that the Inner Light will offer more damage than the Execute. So if you had to choose one or the other, here's your choice, Inner Light. So when you're doing your setup, obviously you want to have your curse. Right after you apply your curse, you want to weave a light attack in that will get your spell damage proc going. You want to drop the meteor right before the meteor hits. Rune Cage, frag. As simple as that. Be sure you animation cancel right after the Rune Cage into the frag to be sure they hit pretty much simultaneously. The burst is really hard to negate. It's kind of hard to set up sometimes if you're being pressured, but in duels, it's over. Alright, so if we can see if we can do it real fast. So you're going to have your curse, light attack, weave, drop meteor, Rune Cage, boom, and you'll have your frag proc. And all that will hit almost simultaneously. The frag will be a little bit of a delay, but if you're really quick on your animation canceling, you'll be able to get the frag off no time. It'll all connect at once. So we're going to quickly go over the champion system because I definitely want to keep this under 15 minutes. These are pretty cut and paste. I'm really happy with these numbers. Going to 48 Warlord, 43 Arcanist, 19 Tenacity, 43 Mooncalf, 40 Shadow Ward, 37 Tumbling, 51 Elfborn, 49 LA Expert, 28 Spell Erosion, 11 Staff Expert, 51 Master at Arms, 40 in Shattering Blows, because Sorcerers are hard as shit to burst this patch without the frag stun. None in this tree. 51 Ironclad, 5 Spell Shield, 8 Resistance. Like I said, they 8 Resistance here, so I can get that really nice soft craft to 1200 crit resistance. 5 Light Armor, 43 Hardy, 43 LA Defender, 11 Thick Skinned, 8 LA Expert, 56 Bastion. I have pretty much everything even, half and half between physical and magical spell protection in this, because both classes hit really hard, stamina and magicka. So that really does it for the build, guys. We'll check out the Lich proc here just so you can see what the recovery is. It's really nice, especially in open world. You're not going to run into any sustain issues, I assure you, between Dark Conversion and your Lich proc. So you're going to be in good hands. So let's get our Lich proc flowing here. Pop a pot. There we go. We're at 3,500. And that's running the mage. If you're running into sustain issues, by all means, switch the mage to the Atro. Alright. Well, that about does it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the build. I hope you enjoyed your holidays. You have a good time. Don't stress for finals. Don't stress for, just take it easy. Gorge out on some turkey. If you have any questions about the build, please leave them in the comments. If you have any build suggestions, also please leave them in the comments. If I mess up on something, let me know. If something was unclear, please let me know. And if you have really any questions about the build, I did do a previous Azor Ahai build on this. It's not much different besides the traits and maybe the bar setup for dueling if you're into that. If you want me to go over, I will be going over also a Magicka Nightblade pretty soon and a Magicka Warden build pretty soon as well. Still trying to optimize those as best I can, especially with the new sets being kind of buggy and dropping 500k, just to test out all these new sets for you guys. And don't get me wrong, the sets have their place, but compared to this build, I'm not saying that this is the best build ever. This is best in slot, but compared to this build, the damage numbers are damn near identical. The only build that hits harder than this one, that you actually have some decent sustain, would be the Axiom Innate set, which is it's got pretty good perks on it. 2-piece, max match, 3-piece max stam, 4 pieces your crits, and then the 5-piece adds 400 spell damage to your class abilities. This applies to your mines, your execute, your curse, your frag. Not crush and shock, unfortunately, but oh well. I crunched the numbers on it. It does 1.8% more damage, but your stamina sustain is shit. Your magicka recovery is shit. So, yeah, it does do more damage, but this class definitely has a lot more utility. Like I said, guys, you have a free monster slot set. Run whatever the fuck you want. Have fun with it. It's your build. I just have 2 stats for right now. So there's the build, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Happy holidays. This is Lockhart signing out. Yeah, that's pretty cheesy, I know.